Meet Leon Kennedy, survivor, dad joke connoisseur, and most importantly, unnecessary backflip aficionado. But unfortunately for Leon, his fate isn't being decided by a hardcore professional gamer. No, it's directed by me, some dork with too much free time on his hands and the reflexes of an old age sloth ODing on Percocet. Over the next 22 minutes, it's my job to help his blonde, socially stunted, teen heartthrob looking ass somehow make it through the game while surviving the biggest threat of them all. Obvious and easily avoidable bear traps. The story begins with a lovely scenic drive through bumfuck nowhere while Leon professionally mogs in the back seat. Naturally, one of the policemen has to take a leak and, like every dumbass in horror media, runs off alone the second he hears something strange. His buddy over here wants me to go after him while he sits twiddling his thumbs in the car, which I'm sure won't come back to burn him in the future. I'd like to already point out the fact that Leon doesn't seem to register a disemboweled cow and crows on human growth hormone as ominous warning signs to keep his guard up. In fact, despite hearing screams from inside the shack, he still has a friendly chit-chat with a dude who looks like the last time he showered was in amniotic fluid. To absolutely no one's surprise, this guy thinks he's Sam Fisher and tries to stealth attack us, but was a little too slow on the QuickTime event sadly and... Holy shit! Leon just roundhouse kicked that guy into the fucking air like Chuck Norris, bro. What the fuck? Having clearly turned this dude's brain into alphabet soup, we're now free to venture further into the darker, more ominous part of the cabin. Luckily for us, we just heard the police guy, so he should still be... Ooh, I don't think a first aid spray is gonna fix this one, guys. Fortunately, seeing his ride home turn into a human zipper bag seems to have helped Leon realize shit's about to get real, and he finally gets on board with laying the smack down.
No fucking way.
Paradoxically though, I have the shooting skills of a left-handed monoplegic, so I'm not exactly making him look like a badass right now. But whatever, let's just clear up these assholes and leave. Now that that's done, and I've exited in style, it's time to press onwards and find that blonde baddie so we can leave this shithole and get back to rizzing Ada. After venturing a little further, I found what looks to be the main village center and some sort of church. Aww, how cute! They seem to be having a night vigil of some sorts. I may have been too late to save him, whatever his name is, was, but at the very least I can take a few of them out in his honor. After killing quite a few of them, it's become painfully obvious they're basically angry hornets with the mating drive of rabbits on Viagra because they won't stop coming to kill me. At this point, I actually thought I was doing something wrong and that things couldn't get any worse until Mr. Chainsaw Man over here decided to show up and what the fuck is going on with this dude's eyes, bro? I think he was smoking a little too much of that green herb before the fight, if you know what I mean. Despite the added threat thrown into the mix, I continued doing my best to survive and figure out what the hell I'm supposed to be doing as my resources slowly drained. Luckily for me, Mr. Chainsaw Man over here is a misanthrope too, because he just straight up fucking leather-faced anyone standing in his way. I swear he did more damage to them than I did. Fortunately for me, it was at this point that my life became the classic early 90s sitcom Saved by the Bell, because they all just gave up on trying to murder me as soon as the church bell rang. I am as perplexed as you are, Leon. Maybe it's din-din time and they were just a little hangry, I don't know. And with that awful experience out of the way, we get set on course to our new objective, the windmill. In the meantime, I managed to find a classic zombie-slaying shoddy, took out a few stragglers who missed the bell, and had a certifiable Tylenol moment by accidentally shooting a valuable pendant into what I hope was brown water. Sadly, there's no time to think about ass-backwards in-game rules when I've got a windmill to spin. But things can never be that simple, and I have to first find a cog they've hidden away somewhere for some reason. True to horror game fashion though, as soon as I touch the bloody thing, a wannabe luchador with an overcompensatingly large hammer immediately tried to assault me with his buddies that spawned out of nowhere. It was a tough fight, and Leon proved to be the better fighter, but in the end, Luchador got the last laugh when I was revenge tackled by a nearby cow. But with that done, we can finally move on to try and find Ashley once more. I'm gonna skip ahead a little, but here's a quick highlight reel so you don't feel left out. I almost got taken out by an excessively useless trap, baited 2 Ganados into very avoidable deaths, found some dude randomly tied up in a basement before getting thrown around like a cheap floozy, got infected with a budget facehugger, lost my guns, got them back, and got blown the fuck up right before getting my revenge. So with guns in hand and the path opened, it's time to head for the village chief's manor, but not before running into every visible bear trap within a square mile radius. It gave me a lot of time to reflect, and it was actually around this time I started thinking, I wonder what Chainsaw Guy's up to right now. I didn't mean it literally, for fuck's sake. I guess I'll just politely show myself out then and... Son of a bitch! After a few roundhouse kicks and a shotgun blast to center mass, I finally put an end to his ripping days and we can finally progress onwards. As I made my way around the back of the manor, my spidey senses were tingling off the charts. This whole place stank to high heavens, but I couldn't figure out why. Oh shit! Now, as much as I'd love to ruminate on the chaotic nature of life, or how you never know which way you're going to go out of it, there's no time for that, because I have a girl to save. Once again, you would think that me taking that guy out Elvis Presley style should give me the last laugh, but much like a few seconds before his death, life sometimes likes to shit over everything. The game just roadblocked me with my one and only weakness. Simple, easily solvable puzzles that take 2 minutes to complete. Well, that and bear traps. I'm sorry, Ashley, but I guess there's no way I could possibly save you now. The only way I could even dream of doing that would be if they somehow left very obvious instructions incredibly close. What the fuck is wrong with these people, dog? I swear they're killing for the love of the game because this is so deeply unserious. Anyways, I solved the lock and finally found the key. Then almost immediately got Spartan kicked across the room by Plago Escobar over here. Luckily, everyone's favorite personification of the CCP stepped in to save the day and direct his attention elsewhere. I guess with him gone, I can finally return to the church, but not before saving the cute doggy outside. I wonder if there'll be any more cute dogs along the way. Holy shit! It looks like the goth version of Max from The Mask, dog. What the fuck? Well, as much as I don't want to, there's only one thing I can really do. After letting them nibble on my arm a bit to gain a false sense of confidence, I reluctantly put them down and took a few seconds to mourn. Not 5 seconds later though, I got jumped by a creepy chick who was literally just standing around the corner the whole time. Obviously I had to give her the old London hello before rocking her shit crazy style, but with that out of the way, it's time to continue on to the church where they're keeping Ashley hostage. Don't ask me why Leon is shaking the massive iron bars like he's going to accomplish anything. This man operates beyond mortal comprehension. Now, I have to give them credit. It looks like they learned the error of their ways, that having a lock with the code 5 meters away was an absolutely batshit insane idea. So to make up for it, they overcompensated with an incredibly gaudy, over-the-top one this time round and hid the keys somewhere at the nearby lake, halfway across the map. As I made my way into the next area, I really had to put on my best Sherlock Holmes cap, because this one was a stumper. I wonder what this giant axe, giant door, and giant heavy breathing might be. It must be one giant threat, whatever it is. This is so fucking dumb. Ignoring the most obvious foreshadowing to a boss fight in the history of gaming, I finally arrived at the lake. And sticking with the trend of enemies getting absolutely redonkulous, there's a giant cancerous looking salamander that devoured the policeman dude from before whole. Just like your mom. Hey, got him. And of course it wouldn't be a classic horror game if we didn't have to cross the lake with a giant turd monster in it, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Naturally, I jinxed things by even thinking of questioning this game's glory, and discovered there's no gas for the boat. But fortunately for me, it's not too far away, so it's only a bit of a oh shit! Now I know Leon is a spry chicken and all, but I'm fairly certain I heard his everything break in that fall. And just my luck, these guys came to party and capitalize on the confusion. Well, sadly for them, I came here to chew ass and kick gum, and I'm all out of gum. Wait, what? With that nastiness out of the way, and the gas can in hand, it's time to head back to the boat. Leon decides to channel his inner blonde dumbfuck and immediately ride the boat without making sure the thick coat of rust isn't a liability. And wouldn't you know it, the boat dies dead center of the lake. Because of course it does. Something that always confused me with this part though, is how confused Leon looks here. Like he's not reaching for a gun or a harpoon and looks like he's trying to process what's happening. My brother in Christ, did we not just witness a giant salamander eat a dude not 30 minutes ago? Grab your fucking gun! Nope, too late, and now I'm forced into a long, drawn-out Japanese whaling simulator sequence with the strongest boat known to mankind. No, really. The thing decided to randomly stall just a few minutes ago, but is now able to take like 4 direct knocks from a 10-ton aggressive turd and somehow remain completely unscathed. Getting back to the action, and unfortunately for this thing, I'm way less put off by killing a giant hemorrhoid with fins than I am of shooting the cute wolves from earlier. So unlike the other 99% of the game, my aim is that of 16-time world darts champion, Bill Taylor. Seriously though, what in the amphibious fuck is going on with this place? Crazy psychopathic poor people are one thing. I've been to Philadelphia before, but zombie dogs and titanic salamanders are a little above my pay grade, Holmes. Even Leon seems to be burning up over the insanity of it all. Ooh, yikes.